Hello everyone, Mr. Price here, continuing our read aloud for the day. We are continuing True Sort of by Catherine Hannigan, and we just finished chapter 26, and Deli had been chosen as a team captain in gym class, and she chose all the kids that are normally left out and chosen last to be on her team, including Ferris Boyd, with the plan that they would get the ball to Ferris Boyd and that Ferris Boyd would score points for them. But things didn't go as Deli had hoped. Ferris Boyd just stood there and let the ball bounce off for a while the other team ran circles around them, so to speak. Deli's team ended up losing, and that is where we are continuing the story from right now. Chapter 27. Deli's team left her as soon as the whistle blew. They walked wide around her like she was a stinking dead skunk in the road. Doesn't matter, she muttered. But it did. She stayed on the court, slumped over. It was all supposed to change, she mumbled. The feeling bad that filled her said, it did. It's worse. At least I'm not in trouble, she rasped. No, you're not in trouble, the bad feeling told her. You're a loser. And so are those other kids, because of you. Deli didn't go to the locker room. She didn't want to see the smirks or hear the giggles. I'll just go to class, she grumbled. I'll sit there stinking in my sweat till 3 o'clock. That wouldn't fix it, though, because tomorrow and every day after, kids would be calling her names and laughing at her. They did to losers. Counting couldn't keep her out of that many fights. What are you going to do about it, loser? The feeling bad asked her. Deli didn't know. Till she heard his footsteps. Her whole body tightened, knowing he was near. Can't fight, she told herself. But she couldn't hear it with him howling. This place stinks. Like a loser. That did it. She grabbed a jump rope off the wall as she stomped toward him. I'm gonna hog tie you, she snarled. I'm gonna throw you in Clayton Fitch's canoe and send you down the river. Try it, Novello taunted her. She knotted the rope like a lasso and swung it over her head. Hope you like hickory corners, she sneered, and Miss Gerwitz shut down the rodeo. From her office, she hollered, Deli Pattison, come over here. Novello, get to class. Neither of them moved. Now, she commanded. Novello squinted and stamped away. Deli growled all the way to Miss Gerwitz's door. Deli, look at me, the teacher ordered. So she did. I'm proud of what you did today. Miss Gerwitz smiled. Huh? Deli grunted. Choosing the kids nobody else picks. That was really good. You didn't win, but you did, you know? Deli didn't. We got killed, she said. You lost the game, so what? In my book, you win. Deli stared at her to see if she was kidding. Me? You. You did real good. Being Miss Gerwitz's good was like being Clarice's pride. Right away, Deli felt better. You should get to class, the teacher told her. Deli turned toward the gym. She wasn't slumping anymore. I won, she told the wall as she put the rope back. I'm a winner, she said to the ceiling. She turned to the exit. I'm good. And surprise shot her in the air like a copper-curled basketball because there was Ferris Boyd, drooped beside the gym door. What the glub, Deli rasped when she landed. Ferris Boyd stayed hunched over, like the saddest loser ever. Deli knew how that felt. Full of Miss Gerwitz's goodness, she walked over to her. Hey, Ferris Boyd, she said. Miss Gerwitz says we won even if we didn't. Know what I mean? The girl didn't glance at her. Now, as fine as Deli was feeling, that felt bad because she was trying to give Ferris Boyd something good, and the girl wasn't taking it. Again. So she said, Ferris Boyd, how come you just keep standing there doing nothing? The girl didn't move. The good feeling was fading fast, and now Deli was remembering how they could have been winners, but for real, if Ferris Boyd had done something besides slouch there. Hey, she hollered, I'm talking to you. How come you didn't take the ball and shoot it? Do you want to be a loser? Deli didn't do it to be mean. She did it because she forgot. While she shouted, "Because I know you can do it. I saw you play," she grabbed the girl's arm. Ferris Boyd's head jerked up and her eyes were wild. Her arms flailed around her head. Shikes! Deli pulled her hand away. It was too late. Ferris Boyd was running, like wild dogs were after her, down the hall and out the back door. Double shikes! Deli followed her, but the girl was already sprinting across the playground. "Ferris Boyd!" Deli cried, and headed out the door, till Ms. Niederbaum snagged her. "Where are you going?" "It's Ferris Boyd," she rasped. She's gone." "Where?" Deli pointed. "Why are you here and not in your room?" "I was with Miss Gurwitz," Deli answered, which was sort of the truth. "Go to your class," Ms. Niederbaum directed her. So she did. Deli spent the afternoon worrying that they wouldn't find Ferris Boyd and worrying that they would. "She might be hurt," she fretted, "but if they find her, she'll talk. I'll be out of here before Miss McDougal can say you're expelled." Just before 3 o'clock, Miss Niederbaum came to the classroom. She and Lionel Terwilliger whispered. Deli prepared for her banishment to Bad Kidville as Lionel Terwilliger walked toward her. At her desk, he leaned over. "Miss Boyd has been located," he said softly. "She's at home and will return tomorrow." Then he put his hand on her shoulder. "Delaware, your awareness and concern are valued." He was thanking her. Deli wanted to shout, "Happy Hallelujah!" because Ferris Boyd was safe and she wasn't in trouble. Yet. But the way Lionel Terwilliger said it, like she was decent, made her hang her head. She mumbled. And he left her. That brings us to chapter 28. At 3 o'clock, Deli raced across the playground, over the bridge, and out the river road. At the end of the drive, she checked. There was no car, no cat, and no basketball-playing girl. She ran to the front door of the old Hennepin place and banged on it. "Hey, Ferris Boyd," she hollered. "I gotta talk to you." Nobody came. "Ferris Boyd, this is a Deli emergency," she shouted. That didn't do it. She stood back and looked at the house. The curtains in the upstairs window fell together. "I gotta know if tomorrow's my last day at that school," she muttered to herself. Breaking in would probably be trouble. Throwing rocks could go wrong, too. There was one more thing Deli could try. Tell the truth. "Oh, gram it," she grumbled, and sat down facing the house. "Okay, Ferris Boyd," she told the window. "Here's the truth. I'm trouble. I've been bad for a long time." That was hard to say. Deli sat with it for a second. "I've been better, though. They made me captain," she went on. "I didn't want to do it till I got this idea. You, me, all those kids that got no friends. We could be a team. We could help each other." The curtains pulled back just a little. Deli'd have to tell more truths. "Okay, here's the real truth. I saw you at school with those animals, and it was something. Then I followed you here and watched you play. You were awesome. So when Miss Gurwitz picked me, I picked you, because I knew with you on the team, all us losers could be winners for once. But then you just stood there. I didn't mean to touch you. I just wanted to know what happened." The curtain pulled back some more. "Okay, here's the real truth," Deli rasped. "If I do one more bad thing, they'll kick me out of school. I don't care what happens to me," the rasp cracked, "but I can't make my ma cry again. That's why I need to talk to you." The curtain closed. Deli's chin fell to her chest. "Chisel," she mumbled. The mail slot in the door creaked open. A small piece of paper slipped through it and fluttered to Deli's feet. She picked it up. Big dark letters told her, "No yelling. No touch." Deli got too excited. "Okay, Ferris Boyd," she shouted. I won't," and she stopped herself. I won't yell," she whispered. The door opened a crack. "And I won't touch you," she murmured. It opened some more. "Hey, Ferris Boyd." Deli just breathed it. The girl stepped onto the stoop. She sat down, facing the trees. Then there was one more truth Deli had to tell. "Ferris Boyd," she said, "I'm sorry." The girl just stared ahead. Now, Deli Pattison didn't like apologizing. She had a hard time doing it and getting nothing back. She was about to ask loudly, "Hey, did you hear me? I said sorry." And that black cat ran across the yard. It set itself between them. "Meow," it growled with its claws sticking out. So Deli kept quiet while the three of them sat. At first it was almost as bad as counting, sitting there like that. But Deli could hear the creatures all around them. She watched Ferris Boyd's back rise and fall with her breaths. She felt the breeze on her face. The cat stretched out and put its front feet against her. All grand cat, she thought, but she didn't move. Then it wasn't so bad, just sitting. It felt good not being alone. The whistle blew. "Shikes," Deli whispered. "I gotta go." She stood up. She sat down again. "Ferris Boyd," she said, eyeing the cat's claws, "I just got to know. How come you didn't take the ball and shoot?" The girl stayed still. This time, Deli didn't push it. "Okay," she said softly. As she got up to leave, though, Ferris Boyd pulled a pad and pen from her pocket. She wrote something, set the paper on the stoop, and walked into the house. Deli snatched the note quick before the cat could claw her. She sprinted all the way home. Sitting beside her bed, she opened it. "You didn't ask," it told her. She was silent for a second. Then her mouth exploded with laughter. "Ask!" she whooped. "Ferris Boyd, I don't ask to do anything." She held the note in front of her, chuckling at it. "You don't ask to do stuff, you just do it, and then... She wasn't laughing anymore. "Then there's trouble," she mumbled. Deli lay down on her bed. She thought about every time she'd gotten in trouble. The chickens, the canoe, the holiday days. They were all different, but they all ended the same, with her deep in it. Started the same, too, she rasped. "Didn't ask." "But I hate asking," she grumbled. "If you ask, they say no. They never let you do anything." She put the note in her left pants pocket. It was just paper, but she could feel it pressing on her. She said. She kept saying through dinner and while she did her homework. Sometimes, when Deli couldn't sleep, she'd go to Clarice. About midnight, she showed up at Clarice's side of the bed. The woman was deep asleep. Deli crouched so her mouth was near her mother's ear. "Ma?" she rasped. Clarice's eyes flipped open. "Deli," she groaned. "If I asked Miss Silcox for brownies, you think she'd give me some?" Deli asked. Clarice, still groggy, murmured, "Probably so." "If I asked Clayton Fitch to borrow his canoe, you think he'd let me?" "No," she told her truly. "If I asked you if I could take a boat down the river, would you say yes?" Suddenly Clarice was wide awake. "Absolutely not!" she shouted. "What if I asked you to take me?" That calmed her. "Probably so," she said. "And I wouldn't have gotten in trouble?" "Nope." It was quiet. Then Clarice had a question. "Deli? Ma? Can I go back to sleep?" "Probably so," Deli answered. "Night, Ma," she whispered at the door. "Night," Clarice replied. And that's where we're stopping for today. I hope you guys enjoyed those chapters. I will pick up with chapter 29 tomorrow. Remember to complete your exit ticket and have yourselves a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Bye.